Okay, good morning, everyone. And I heard someone say, what do we do to mute? Everyone has now been muted. So when it's time to speak, you can star six mute yourself once we're finished with the presentation. But I just want to welcome you all. This is Tapelsha Magruder, founder of Mob United in Brooklyn, New York. Have two sons who are 8 and 5. Hopefully they won't interrupt me during my part. I'm usually upstairs, hidden away from them, but I'm actually heading to the Harlem meetup in a little while, so I want to be near the door so I can scoot out. So I probably won't be as vocal overall, just because I'll be in transit to meet the Harlem mob. So we just want to kick it off with an inspirational quote by Nashiba Starr, who lives in Brooklyn but is currently in Massachusetts.
Good morning, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, great. Yes, I'm commuting back. So a few weeks ago, we had Lee Merritt on, and something that he said really stood out for me. He said that you want to focus on what you can contribute each day, like what, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, but what can we contribute each day? What small act can you do each day? And it reminds us that this is, a marathon. This is not a sprint. So today's quote is by Jim Watkins, and it shares that same sentiment. It says, "A river cuts through rock not because of its power, but because of its persistence." So if you haven't had a meetup or you haven't attended one, you're like, oh, I really want to get there. I want to encourage you to be persistent and allow that to be your one thing for today, for the rest of the month, or even for the beginning of August. Have a good call, ladies. Bye.
Thank you, Nashiba Starr. Up next, we have a recap of Brown, who lives in Staten Island, is from Rochester, who I'll see later today. And tomorrow is hosting the Staten Island meetup. Tammy?
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Our last meeting on July 15th began at 9:34 a.m. With an opening quote by Nashiba Starr. There were no review of the minutes, and Tapelsha went over the Moms of Black Boys United 501c3 organization, as well as the Mob United for Social Change, or advocacy arm, which is the 501c4. She also talked about the purpose and the mission of Mob United and the 5-point platform approach that we currently engage in. We are celebrating our one-year anniversary with Mobiversary kickoffs at New Orleans and Essence Jazz Festival. She spoke about that briefly, then turned it over to Vanessa, who talked more about the Mobiversary at the Essence Festival, which was an amazing experience. And the volunteers helped tremendously to connect us to various dignitaries. The local folks really fueled our spirit, and the trip was well attended. We connected to a lot of new partners per Vanessa, and went live from New Orleans during the meeting time. Many in leadership commemorated the one-year mark by posting videos of themselves online and on Facebook page all day long. And then we went on to talk about the Woke Mom meetups across the nation, starting with Amy Wilson in Philadelphia, Frankie Robertson, and Devondra Brown from Baton Rouge. And on that day, we also had Woke Mom meetups in Brooklyn, Boston, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, which were being hosted that day. Alicia spoke about the Meet and Greets membership drive and how they are being hosted all over the country, and it's not too late to host, just to register on the website. And everything that you need for a meet and greet was to be provided. As well as, she encouraged everyone to check out the store as well. The Woke Mom collection was available online. Our guest speaker was Mayor Sharon Weston Broome, the mayor of Baton Rouge, and Frankie Robertson basically interviewed her, which was an outstanding interview. She was actually met in New Orleans, and Tapelsha and others heard her speak on one of the panels at the Essence Festival. She's the first woman to be elected to the Baton Rouge Parish, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. She was a state representative in legislature and the Senate, and was a reporter for 5 years in Baton Rouge. She was born in Chicago and migrated back south with her parents, who were born in the South, and encouraged us to always do what's right, even if it isn't popular. was working in her administration to close the gap between the police and the community by developing new policing and policy in Baton Rouge, reviewing training and accountability with the police, which is part of the best practices across the nation, which she's been researching, and working with the police chief on improving relations and accountability. She believes that equity for all is the norm and not exception when it comes to police relations, and encouraged us as moms to meet with local officials to let them know what's important and hold us accountable. She meant public officials, local officials, and push to get local officials to advance policy that will improve quality of life for the community, and make sure that they are aware of the issues and the priorities, and also encourage women to start running. That statistics indicate that when women run for office, women win. Just look for something that's you're most passionate about or in your platform, and run on the positions and get involved with board or commissions if you don't want to become part of politics. But board and commissions make significant impact in decisions, and also help other elected officials get elected, which will help your chances of running and winning elections. DM recapped the interview for some of the things that she thought were great. One point that she said that I didn't mention is police reform does not mean police rejection. She quoted that from Mayor Broome. We had question and answers, a closing prayer by Nashiva Star, and the call ended at 11:04 a.m. And that's the minutes for the last meeting.
Thank you so much, Tammy. Moving on, I will give a brief overview of the purpose and mission of the organization. As Tammy mentioned, we have two nonprofit organizations, sister organizations. Moms of Black Boys United is the 501c3, and its mission is to provide information and support for moms of Black sons and also promote positive images of Black boys and men. So this is really the resource organization. Our vision and goal is to become the most comprehensive resource for moms of Black sons, for all the information you need to know about raising strong, successful Black sons, period. That's the long-term vision. We have a lot of initiatives underway to get there, but that's the resource organization. Mob United for Social Change is our advocacy arm. It's a 501c4, and its goal is to influence policy that impacts how Black boys and men are treated by law enforcement and those in authority. So this is, after we've done all we can do, holding the system accountable side as well, and pushing for policy change to make sure that there's equal protection for our sons. We have next page a 5-point approach to this. One is to influence policy, which is a 501c4, change perception, demonstrate our power politically and economically, partner strategically with like-minded individuals and organizations who have similar goals, and to promote self-care, which I always stress is critically important because we have to have fuel for the fight. We have to be able to have a sustained effort. This is not about a day or a march or a rally. This is about ongoing engagement and advocacy for our sons. And to do that effectively with all of our other responsibilities that we have as moms, we have to take care of ourselves, our own mental health and wellness, and the health and wellness of our family as a whole. So that is the brief overview. And up next, we will go into committee updates. I believe communications is up first. Vanessa?
Good morning. It's Vanessa from Los Angeles, one of your chairs of
Good
communications.
morning.
Good morning. We will be sharing some information about our newsletter that's coming by way of Tiffany. Tiffany, if you're on the line, please press *6 and share with us about the Mob United newsletter. Tiffany, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, great.
I am. Okay, good. You can hear me. Okay, good morning, everyone. Thanks for this opportunity. I'll be brief. So I just want to highlight what we've done already in June and then give you some updates on what we're doing for July. So last month, we published our first edition of the newsletter highlighting our first anniversary. We celebrated our Black sons who are fathers, and we introduced our Baton Rouge, Louisiana chapter, talked about the work they're doing. We featured some art and poetry from our Facebook group, and with permission, of course, from those moms. And we highlighted our Martin Luther King Day day of service volunteer events across the country. Featured a book club piece and honored our son angels, some of our deceased Black sons from the Facebook group with permission. We included a piece on Protect Them Louder about making sure our cause does not get buried by other causes in the nation. So for July, we are in the final stages of our process, the final review of most of our pieces as they come out of QA. The goal for publication is this Monday, the last day of July, and the plan is to publish the newsletter by the end of each month. Okay, so for this edition, we are including, for the Founders Corner, we're republishing DePelcha's recent op-ed from the Root publication. And then for our different sections of cause, the first section, we are including a mob policy committee progress piece and a call center introduction. We have a piece on Black maternal trauma, which is a part of a log and blog series about victims of police brutality. We're going to highlight the Essence 2017 festival with some verbiage and photos. For our content section, we're featuring a piece called All of Us, which is a personal experience piece on integration, advocacy, and changing perception. We are doing a photo feature of images collected from the Facebook group called Meet the Graduates, reposted with their permission. Okay, for connections, we're featuring poetry by one of our mob called, her name is Shelley Moore Guy, and she's agreed to allow us to repost her son's poem. We're doing a piece on Mob Selects, featuring volunteers nominated by volunteers, including some photos. We're doing a piece on Mob to Mob, featuring posts by Mob in our Facebook group that touched our founder in a special way, republishing with their permission, including photos. We're also featuring Mob United Woke Moms 2017 Summer Meetup, hostesses summaries. And recurring, we'll include information about our Mob United store and membership at the end of the newsletter. And just starting this month and going forward, we will do a volunteer shout-out featuring a volunteer in the organization. This month will be Kimberly Alexander. So just as a general theme, we wanted to include lots of faces in this edition so our readers can see that there are mobs hard at work and know what kind of work is being done at the grassroots level, with hopes that more mobs will step up and contribute their talent, passion, and time. And I just want to thank all of our editors, writers, quality assurance, webmaster for their contributions. We're still hoping for more volunteers. So if you have talent in this area, please submit a volunteer form with samples or encourage someone you know to do that. If you have ideas for future content, please email them to mobcommunications@gmail.com with the subject line newsletter content suggestion. Thanks.
Thank you, Tiffany.
You're welcome.
So thank you for all that you do to keep us informed, and it's also how we will keep, the public informed on what we're doing in our initiatives. It's available on our website. If you go to the homepage and you see community, right under that, you'll be able to see the most recent version of the newsletter. So thank you. Anything else on communications, Vanessa? Vanessa?
That's it for us.
Okay, if not, we can move on to policy.
Hi, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. And once again, welcome back to Delicia Reynolds-Tan, our chair of policy, who just had her second son. So you can tell us a little bit about that before you start your presentation.
Sure. Good morning, everybody. I'm really happy to be back. Mom of two sons, an almost 2-year-old, and a 6-week-old named Teddy, Theodore, so we call him Teddy. And, the birth of Teddy has just really cemented my resolve to continue to join with you all fabulous ladies and fight for our sons. So as some of these women will tell you, I didn't really want to go on leave, but I did use a break and take some leave, and I'm happy to be back. Before I dive in, I want to just say thank you to stepped up and are taking on additional responsibilities to help us be more effective in policy change. In particular, Ricky Robertson, who basically helped to run things and policies while I was on leave. Thank you so much, Frankie. But also some of the other active moms, Layla, Aziz, Beth, Marisa, a number of folks that stepped up and helped us move things along, like a rapid response.
Hey, Delicia, we're having a little trouble hearing you. I don't know if you changed something with your headset, but it's muffled and unclear.
Hi, can you hear me better now?
It's a little better.
Okay. I'll try. I'm in the car and this.
Okay.
But basically, I just want to say thank you to everyone who stepped up and provided additional support while I was out. So our report is really brief, but just wanted to provide a heads up about some of our activities over the next month. The work that we're still doing, legislation in particular that we're monitoring. So we are now shifting into our congressional outreach work, which brings heading up.
I don't know.
Objective.
You're on Bluetooth.
Can you hear me? Bluetooth? Can you hear me now?
Not that well.
Oh.
Speak again. That sounded a little better.
Sorry about that. I'm trying to speak directly into the microphone. So
yeah, if you're on speaker or headphone, just take that off because it's really hard to hear.
Turn.
Okay.
Now I don't hear anything.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but not that clearly. So it might be better to let Frankie jump in if she has a clear signal.
Sure, Frankie.
I don't want people to miss the information.
Yeah, no problem. Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry, Delicia, that we're having the communication challenges because I know that you have a great report prepared for this morning. So I'll cover some of the things that we talked about. So good morning, everyone. So we're really we're really happy to share some really critical updates on our congressional outreach project that we talked about a few weeks ago. We're happy to announce that we have several visits organized. As you can see on the slide, we have meetings organized in California with Karen Bass, Ted Lieu, and Kamala Harris. We also have meetings organized in Florida with Frederica Wilson, and then in Louisiana, we're happy that we have a meeting organized with the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, which is Congressman Cedric Richmond. We also have meetings scheduled in Maryland with Elijah Cummings and Anthony Brown, as well as Gwen Moore in Wisconsin. So we really are moving full speed ahead with the congressional meetings, and we do have several members who are on the policy team who are continuing to press forward with reaching out to their congressional representatives, trying to obtain the meetings. Those typically aren't very easy things to obtain, as we have all witnessed in the news. They have been incredibly busy dealing with the federal health care bill, but now that we've moved past major milestones with that, we're starting to see that some of the calls are being returned and we're able to get the meeting secured. So for everyone who has been a part of this project, thank you very much. We really appreciate it, and we're just asking everyone to continue to press forward to schedule the meetings. And of course, what will happen is as the policy members are arranging the meetings, we will reach out to local representatives to get them to attend as well for those who may be available. And then also just wanted to mention two pieces of legislation that we are watching developing strategy about. That's going to be in California. There's a non-monetary bill. We are actually working on a call to action for that, so stay tuned for information that we'll all be able to get involved and reach out to the members in California. And then also we ask once again that everyone share that information, because outside of Mob United members, we're also able to engage people who are not a part of Mob United to really increase our impact and really get the community lobbying behind our efforts. And then lastly, a new bill that is being introduced by Senator Kamala Harris, and Senator Rand Paul. It's a bipartisan bail reform bill. We're watching that, and of course that's at the federal level, and we're watching that very closely to see how we can engage in that. And then as we develop strategy and learn more about the bill, we will provide information to the greater organization and then also external to the organization as well to continue to advocate for the bill and push for support. And that is it for the policy updates for today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Frankie and Alicia. Now we will hear from a lot of different voices just to hear how the Woke Mom meetups are going. We're hosting, I think, about 20 meetings, at least all over the country this month and next month. So, Lisa, do you want to kick it off talking about Boston?
Sure. In the Boston area, they have their meetup on July 9th, 2017, and they basically had like 5 moms who all joined together at they joined together at a park outside. There, they were able to learn more about Mob United, for social change, and Moms of Black Boys. While there, as you can see in the pictures, they had their kids there. The kids were bonding. As you can tell, one of the moms made a mama-bill, which was really cute. In the Boston area, overall, they had an amazing time, we were told. They are having some concerns regarding diversity in the Boston area. So if you know of anyone in the Boston area that is a mob, we ask that they join our group, and then maybe in our next meetup up there, they can also join the other ladies that were at this meetup in Boston. I just want to make a point that all we care about when you're joining Mob United, that you do just have a black son, and that's the only requirement. We don't care about race. Well, the mom's race very much, but it's just a requirement that you have a black son. So everybody's welcome to join. And that's really it for Boston. They had a great time. They just did the merry-go-round in the car.
Thank you. Vanessa has a video to show before I speak. Thank you, Vanessa. So those are images from the Brooklyn, New York meetup, which was on July 15th. It was held at the Bed-Stuy Restoration Corporation in the Multi-Purpose Room, and we had a great time and a great turnout. We had about 22 moms who came out, and, some people brought their children. I think we had about 8 children in the midst as well. And it was really just a great discussion. I started off by asking everyone to introduce themselves and, talk about their sons and what brought them to the meeting, and that whole part was just a really moving experience, just to hear everyone's perspectives and experiences and what draws them to our mission. Then I gave the overview presentation of the organization and all of our initiatives over the past year, and many of the people there, and I think this is a common thing. Like a lot of people are in the Facebook group. They don't really know that this is a real organization and that we're active and doing stuff. So it was just enlightening. I got a lot of comments like one person said, I've been sleeping on Mob. Like they didn't know that we were doing as much as we have or aspire to do. So it was just great to be able to give a comprehensive overview of the organization. And then at the end, I asked everyone to write down any issues that they wanted to see addressed or they think we should focus on in Brooklyn, and collected those issues on index cards. And some of the things that came up were how to navigate the educational system, especially for special needs boys, but also in general. And that is definitely something we're actively working on as a program. They also wanted to know more about summer camps and after-school programs. Someone else wanted suggestions for protection for queer or LGBT-identified boys, especially trans boys, and also suggested doing self-esteem workshops for boys. Another great suggestion was to partner with law enforcement to have kind of role-playing seminars of how to interact with law enforcement, acting out like real likely scenarios, which sounds a little scary, but, for a certain age group, I think is a good idea. And what else? Someone suggested a partner organization that we have to look into. And someone else, I thought this was an interesting angle, suggested having discussions about this at predominantly white schools that don't have a lot of black students because, we need to drive awareness not just with our sons, but with the broader society to change perception about our sons. So overall, it was a very, very rich conversation experience. We also had a cake that Rachel, who lives in Westchester, brought, a Mob anniversary cake, and we had snacks and all of that. So it was just a great fellowship for the moms and children who were in attendance. And today I'm going to head to Harlem, so I'm going to be in transit in just a few minutes. I won't be speaking as much after this, but I look forward to meeting the moms in Harlem soon. And that's it. Up next is Dallas.
Thanks, Peggy. Peggy, could you star 6 if you're still on? And if not, then we can mostly have Vivian speak about the Dallas event. Star 6.
Okay. Peggy's not here, then I am here.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. This is Vivian Wampa, and I was very pleased and proud to have been in attendance last Sunday at the Dallas-Fort Worth meet and greet. We had, as you can see in the pictures there, about 8 moms, one of whom was a mother visiting her daughter who lives here, visiting from Detroit, and she was so moved that she decided that she was going to join the organization and host a meetup in Detroit. We had 6 children, ranging from toddlers to teenagers, and we had one really great dad who actually took his son to the water park area of the venue so that his wife could really listen to the meeting. The meeting was held at a family-oriented park. And in spite of the fact that it was 101 degrees, our pavilion provided us with plenty of shade, and there was a breeze, and we had a chance to fellowship, to picnic. You'll see in the larger photo in the lower left corner, Peggy's son is holding a poster board. And on that poster board, she had photos from several events that the Dallas-Fort Worth area mobs have participated in throughout the 1-year period that mob has been in existence, and she remarked at how amazing it was to see that laid out as she put it together, that there's a lot that we have done. We set our date for our next meeting, which will be September 17th, for the Pink Postcard Party, and I think I can say that a good time as well as a family ambiance was enjoyed by all. We had a successful meet and greet. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. Thank you, all the ladies in the Dallas area that joined. Up next, we're going to have Cameron Wood Garcia speak about the San Diego meetup that she had? Pam, if you can start 6.
Good morning. I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. We did our Mobiversary meetup, Woke Mom meetup, on the 22nd of July. That was last Saturday. And basically what we did was we had a cookout type setting where we didn't really cook. We just did finger foods. And then the kids played football. They had races. They played at the playground while the mom sat down with an educator. His name was Benjamin Prado. Benjamin gave us things we need to know if we're stopped by the police. He gave us all pamphlets to take away with us. There were some moms that had registered that couldn't make it. So what I did was I made my way to each of those moms and I shared information with them about the meetup and what we did, and invited them to the next one that we have planned for September 27th. And basically what we're doing on the 27th is we have a larger version of what we did on the 22nd. So we are going to, out of that was born a back to school night where we teach our young men and their mothers together how to interact with police and what their rights are during the interaction. So it wasn't a huge turnout, but there was the birth of another great event out of it. That's all.
Awesome.
And I think five moms showed up. 5 moms with Beth, Sue, Layla Aziz, and a young lady named Bree Davis who has not registered yet. And then there's several other moms who registered for the event who said they're going to register. So we'll see. And that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I think the next slide we should be showing is in New Jersey, and then we have Anissa on. Anissa, if you could start 6. And if Anissa can't, I think Kamari is joining, so she must have started 6 as well. Either one can speak about the New Jersey. The New Jersey meetup took place during the week. I think it was July 18th, and that was on a Tuesday night. And here it looks like they had a pizza place. It was a great time, had it all, and it was a great time.
I'm sorry, I'm on the call. Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Now we can hear you.
Sorry about that. Yeah, New Jersey meetup was at the Central Park restaurant in Roselle, New Jersey. Sorry, lady. Sorry about that. I was on mute. And we had about 8 ladies attended, and we had a really great time. We talked about concerns that moms have for their sons, any concerns that they had in terms of them growing up. We had a few moms who were there whose sons are incarcerated. So they were voicing their concerns with their sons, and we had a few moms who were interested in being a part of the policy committee. A few moms said they wanted to be a part of the education committee, and a few of the moms had sons who are younger than 18, and they voiced their concerns of saying they wanted more meetups that were in person. But we had a really great time. We talked a lot. We laughed a lot, and we had a great discussion on like what it means to be a mom right now with our boys in this very, very volatile world. So thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you. In the next slide, we have so this is in regard to we have a video. And this is from our Houston event. So after this, Amber will speak about it. Awesome. It looks like great pictures of Houston. Amber, can you start 6 and you can let us know how this event went? Amber? And if not, maybe we can have Alicia if she's on. Not a technical difficulties here. A lot of people were having trouble getting off of mute.
Hello?
I heard someone say hello. Was that Amber?
No, try to get Amber. Try to start 6 again. I think they just reset it.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so there's there's this extreme delay between when you press *6 and when it actually unmutes you. Okay. So I pushed it like 5 times. It was like unmute, mute. Anyway, so thank you. I was saying to whoever put the slides together, we had a wonderful time in Houston on Sunday the 23rd.
Hold on 1 second, Amber. If you are could you please mute your phone? We don't want to auto-mute everybody, but if you could just mute yourself if you're not speaking. Thank you. Go ahead and try to get Amber.
Okay. My background soundtrack. No, so we invited ladies out to brunch for our meetup, and we met downtown at the Circuit Entertainment Lounge, right near our BBVA Campus Stadium where our Houston Dynamo soccer team play. So we were really hip and uptown, downtown really, for the day. And so we had a great turnout with the ladies who were really just open to hearing, what we're all about at Mob United and just very willing to get engaged and to participate. So some of the concerns, overwhelmingly, that the women were talking about were our black boys and the state of education, how they're being handled in schools as far as bullying, discipline, and special education. That was a very, very popular topic for them all. But many of them expressed willingness to step into leadership roles here in the Houston area and just really be on board with being able to meet up and get some things done for Houston. And then I was just really encouraged by the women who went on to actually join with their membership and log on to our social networking environment at Mob United. So I was just really encouraged by the turnout. We had great food. We had great brunch and all of that, which is in some of the other pictures that you all may have seen. And we just had an awesome time just really discussing our situations as moms and sharing our experiences with women who had sons in different stages of life. So we were learning from each other, those who had very little ones, those who were school age, and those who were sending boys off to college and loving the concept of the aunties, the mob aunties that could take care of our sons while they're away from us. So awesome time to be had. I have to give a special shout out to Alicia Grace and Kimberly Alexander. They were just phenomenal in this. This was a tag team effort, and they've just been awesome mentors for me here in Houston as well as we're getting the work started.
Awesome. Thank you so much, both Amber, Alicia, and Kimberly.
Thank you so much, Amber. And we should also mention that they were on the radio. Do you want to talk about that, Amber? Amber, you still with us?
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Yes, I was just unmuted. But yes, so before our event, we were able to go down to our local radio station, so at 97.9 The Box, and we did a radio interview with KB Smooth, one of the DJs there, who has a morning show. And he was really interested in what we were talking about. In fact, he met the representatives who were at the Essence Festival. That's how that connection got started. And then from there, he invited us on the show. And once we got there and we were really talking about, what we were all about and what we were focused on as an organization, he was so intrigued. He told us off the air that if he would have known the depth of what we were doing, he would have really segmented the majority of the show for just us. So we have an open invitation to come back and speak about what we're doing in the Houston area. So we appreciate that connection right there, and it also helped us to promote our event on a popular radio station here in Houston.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, that was wonderful. And I saw Kim, I don't know if she's on the call, but she just posted that the inaugural Houston meeting was last year on July 30th. So it really is full circle, and you all have been active and at it for a while. So thank you.
On the next slide, make sure I don't miss anybody. Here we have our Atlanta ladies who held a meet and greet. They did a movie screening. So if we have Patty, if you can start 6, we would love to hear more about your event in Atlanta.
Hi, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So on July 20th, Donna Garrett and myself partnered to do a private pre-screening of the movie Girls Trip. And so what we did, we rented out a theater over at the Regal Perimeter Point, and we did 2 types of sign-ups. So we did the general sign-up through the Facebook group, and then we, also sent things out to our contacts and friends and things like that. And then we also did a separate one on our personal Facebook pages so that we could garner support, not just from MOB, but just from the community. We ended up, as you can see in that top center picture, there were about, 35 mobs, friends, family, supporters who showed up. We had a really good discussion doing the meet and greet piece first. So we talked all about what Mob United and Mob United for Social Change was about. We handed out postcards, and then what we did is at the end of it had everybody to write down what their top 3 concerns were. We had a lot of interest from supporters who did not have Mob. They were very willing to give their support and their expertise in whatever field it was that they had. We had some teachers who are very interested in MOBs coming into some of the schools where our black boys don't have a whole lot of support. We had MOBs who have some legal advocacy experience, and they are really eager to see what they can do to assist us. We had a lot of MOBs who were in our Woke Moms and our MOB T-shirts, and so there was a lot of interest in going to the store and being able to purchase some of the items. As you can see down in the bottom left corner, what Adana did, Adana put together some swag bags for those who signed up through the MOB website. We had in those swag bags, there were some postcards, there was cotton candy. Up in the top left corner, you can see those were the bubble gum. So it says, as we blow up the perception that society puts on our sons, we build kings. So we had 35 people there, as I said, and it was really very successful. We have not set the date for our next meetup. It'll probably be towards the end of August, and we are eager to go ahead and get started in making sure that our young black boys grow up to be men. That's the Atlanta meetup.
Awesome job. I'm sure you ladies thoroughly enjoyed the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
So, thank you. next here is we see our list of a schedule of our events of the next meetups that are taking place. So if you're interested in seeing what's out there, if there's one in your area, please go out to our mobunited.org page and look for local meetups. As you can see here, there's a meetup today up in Harlem, which is where DePelsha is attending. DePelsha and Tammy actually are attending that one. And that's being hosted by Mercedes Brazier. The Triangle, there is a meetup tomorrow at Elam First Baptist Church, as you can see there. Tomorrow, and on Sunday, which is tomorrow, I'll get my weekend mixed up, Staten Island is hosting their event. So I don't know if Tammy, if you're still on, if you want to speak about the Staten Island event. No? Okay. I think
she was getting in the car. We've been corresponding, so I think she may be in transit. But all I can tell you is Staten Island is probably going to be pretty huge because Tammy knows everybody on Staten Island, and I think has politicians coming and all kinds of things. So it's going to be a different kind of meetup, and I look forward to sharing more about that on our next call.
Awesome. Excuse me. On 8/8, the LA group is actually going to be viewing a screening of the movie Crown Heights. Crown Heights is a film that tells a true story of Colin Warner, who was wrongfully convicted of murder, and how his best friend, Carl King, devoted his life to proving Colin's innocence. This movie premiered in a competition at the Sundance Festival in January of 2017 and actually won the Audience Award for the U.S. Dramatic Film. It's set to be released on August 25th, so the ladies in the LA region actually have a early premiere chance to view the movie. So if you're definitely interested in going, the information will be updated on the website. So definitely click there and RSVP to make sure that we can get you guys in. We also have a St. Louis event and Nashville event that was supposed to take place in July, but they had to reschedule. So please stay tuned for that. If there are any other new moms that are out here that are still interested in hosting a meetup or meet and greet, again, we have excellent resources that were pulled together by our creative services team and Alicia and everybody that was a part of Mob United. We have excellent resources, links and information and packets that will get you through the process very smoothly. So please don't let that be your hesitation or a deterrent for you. We have everything, and it will make your event successful.
Hello.
Are there any? Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Kelly Collins, and I am calling in from Chicago. I haven't. This is the first time I've been able to join this video or call, so I'm actually on the phone as opposed to being able to look at videos. But I'll be having an event on August 19th here in Chicago, in downtown Chicago. And Alicia has been so great to help me, understand how, to do things. And she and I had a really great conversation as it relates to not the marketing material, because of course she's offering that, but some ideas as to, how to carry the meeting through. And so what I'll be doing is having a computer set up there at the meeting for moms that would want to join who may not be members already, which unfortunately I think the preponderance of the women that attend will probably not be members already. So I wanted to have something for them to be able to go ahead and join us officially, to be able to, share their thoughts and concerns. And I also would want to have, I wanted to have a speaker. He's a man here in Chicago who is just a social advocate and standing up for social justice as it relates to crimes against our young people in general. His name is Andrew Holmes, And so I've been trying to work with someone that is a connection between the two of us to see if he is indeed available to come out and speak with us about his experiences and how we might better equip our young men for what they have coming ahead. And if that does not work, I have a close friend who is a Chicago police officer, and he has a young son who would like to come in and speak with their moms as it relates to some of the things that he experiences in his day-to-day works as a police officer with our sons, and things that we should just be ultra aware of as we're speaking with our boys. And we hate to, I shouldn't say we hate to, but I hate to begin that angle at an inaugural meeting here in Chicago, but at the same time, it's Chicago. And it's something that I think is ever so important for people to be aware of and to understand. And we can indeed I will accept suggestions from the moms there as to things that are concerned to them and things that they would like to see at future meetings. But that's how I intend to at least kick off the Chicago meeting. And I say inaugural meeting because from what I understand from Alicia, there's no one that has stepped up to volunteer to have mob meetings here in Chicago. And with the just general crime rate that we have, but moreover ones that involve our young boys, it's mind-blowing that we haven't had this thus far. And so I take a great deal of responsibility and understanding, this needs to be something that is spoken to the greater Chicago area as well as our moms of our mob moms, I'll say, about how we can indeed uphold and support our boys.
Interesting.
Oops,
sorry.
That's okay. I have even personally gotten to the point where I wanted to leave Chicago because of my fear of what's going on, here in our streets and everything. But at the end of the day, realizing that being an agent of change as opposed to running away from a very serious problem, I think is the angle that I would like to take more so. So I just ask for prayers and support as we, push ahead in trying to establish, for lack of a better term, a chapter here in the greater Chicago area.
Awesome, Kelly. I do have a few contacts for you. It's just a matter of timing of having these other mobs assist or set up different meet and greets in the Chicago area. So I will get in touch with you offline and share those names. So maybe all three of you guys can get together and we can formulate something. So you're not alone there. It's just a matter of timing of everybody's schedule.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you.
And then also, I think Vanessa was trying to reach out to you regarding doing a screening of the Crown Heights movie in Chicago on 8/29. So we'll also get in touch with you on that to see if we can make that possible, or we can even discuss it during your 8/19 event to see if those that are interested in viewing the movie can go.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Awesome. So it looks like, that's it for the meet and greet so far. Definitely, even though we were trying to have most of them in the month of July, we're still going to have them all throughout August and possibly into September, just to kind of round out our whole evolution of the organization. So it's definitely, again, if you're interested in hosting one, I think there's one maybe in Rochester that may be in the works or in the planning. There may be one in the DMV that's in the planning stages. So definitely stay tuned. Look out for the flyers or the events that show up on our page. And that'd be great. Let's go. Next here, as you see on our screen, I'm not sure if we're going to speak about this, but definitely go out to our MomUnited.org store. We have merchandise. We have our Wolf Mom shirts. We have our Wolf Mom Auntie shirts. I don't know if you've seen some of the posts that somebody cast from Queen Sugar. They've been wearing our T-shirts. So It's great advertising. We're getting our brand out there because we are woke moms. So please go out to the store and purchase. So, time for any questions, any announcements before we get into our final prayer. It looks like our call may end up early, which is okay because it's a busy Saturday, and then I'm sure we don't have things to do. So, are there any? Before that, we have one announcement. Who's going to take this? Chris, do you want to start this?
Good morning, ladies. Thank you again for another blessed Saturday to share with what's happening on in the world of Mob United. All of the, you kind of got disconnected. All the moms that have had woke mom meetings, it sounds awesome. So I'm definitely looking forward to hearing about all the up-and-coming woke mom meetings. In August 12th, we are having a special guest, and this guest is near and dear to my heart. You may remember Officer Nakia Jones. She put out a YouTube video, and I do urge you to go Google her to watch the YouTube video. And I'll post it on my page so that you can see it. She's the officer. She wears the blue. She's a mob. She has a black son. She grew up in Ohio, and she works in the inner city. And her son came home after the killing of Mr. Sterling down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And as an officer, she's trained, and as an seasoned officer, she knows it's important to allow yourself to evaluate all incidents to see if protocol was met. Well, after watching the video of the killing of Mr. Sterling, just as many of you and I were outraged by watching that video and watching him lose his life by the officers, Officer Nakia Jones went to YouTube and she placed a video with her cries, her anger, and some of the words that stuck with me was, if you're scared, take off the uniform. If you are a punk, take off the uniform. And she urged us to, as moms, as people of color, and as moms of black boys, to stand up to make this stop. So it's going to be a pleasure. August 12th, mark it on your calendar. Invite a friend. This is going to be another epic call. Having Officer Nakia share with us her vision as an officer, her fears, but yet her hope as a mob that we will change the future for our boys and stop all the police brutality. So mark your calendar now. Plan ahead. Schedule brunch with some moms. Go to breakfast and have them join you with the call. It's going to be great. And she is definitely making her mark on the circle, but she's taking time to come to join us as a special guest. Officer Nakia Jones, August 12th. Please join us and invite a friend.
Thank you so much, Chris. That will be a very interesting call, I'm sure. And for those of you who are new, we typically have guest speakers at least once a month on our calls, and they share, different perspectives. As we mentioned, the last call was the Mayor of Baton Rouge. I think before that we had civil rights attorney Lee Merritt, who's representing the family of Jordan Edwards and Darius Smith. So we like to bring a lot of different perspectives and information to the group. So please tune in for that one, because her video, if you remember, it was very, very impassioned. And I think it will be very interesting to hear from someone who is both a mom and an officer. We also heard from Sergeant Cheryl Dorsey, who's a retired LAPD officer, with her perspective as well. So thanks, everyone. I believe that wraps up our call for this week, and we will close out with a prayer by Nashiba Star.
A prayer for inner strength. Dear God, please give me the strength to endure and to find blessings and lessons that it contains. Please give me the endurance to continue ahead. Please guide my thoughts, words, and actions so that I may walk in your path of peace and love. Amen. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, ladies. Bye.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, and thank you, first-time callers.